If you've got kids in the UK, there's a government benefit you're likely entitled to. But honestly, it's about so much more than just money. Today, we're going to break down everything you need to know about child benefit for the 2025-26 tax year so you can claim with confidence and, crucially, protect your financial future.
This whole session has been put together for you by the specialists at My Tax Accountant. These are the folks who help families all across the UK navigate these exact systems every single day.
Okay, let's kick things off with a big question. What if I told you there was a way to get financial help for the costs of raising your child and build a stronger foundation for your own retirement, all at the very same time? It sounds a little too good to be true, right? But that's exactly what child benefit is designed to do.
So, here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with the basics of what child benefit actually is. Then, we'll run through how to check if you're eligible. We are absolutely going to tackle the tricky high-income charge. Then, we'll get practical with how to claim, how to manage it, and most importantly, how to avoid those common mistakes that catch so many people out.
So let's start at the very beginning. What exactly is child benefit? On the surface, yeah, it's a payment. But as you're about to see its real value, well, it goes much, much deeper than that.
At its heart, child benefit is a regular, tax-free payment from the government designed to help you with the costs of bringing up a child. You can think of it as a universal support system just to give families a little bit of financial breathing room for things like food, new shoes, and school trips.
Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. On the left, you've got the obvious bit, getting the cash. It's paid every 4 weeks, helps with all those day-to-day costs. But look over on the right. This is the secret weapon. This is the part so many people miss. The simple act of claiming child benefit, even if you choose not to take the money, earns you national insurance credits. These credits build up your state pension, and this protection keeps going until your youngest child turns 12.
And this brings us to a huge pro tip. Even if you think your income is too high to get the payments, you should always complete that claim form. Seriously. Think of it as a free insurance policy for your retirement. Losing out on 12 years of these credits could literally reduce your state pension by thousands of pounds a year for the rest of your life. It's a massive deal.
Okay, so you know it's incredibly important to claim. But can you? Let's dive into the eligibility rules.
Well, the good news is the criteria are pretty straightforward. You need to be responsible for a child who's under 16 or under 20 if they're still in approved education, like A-levels. You've got to live in the UK, but you don't have to be their parent. Guardians can claim too. The key rule, though, is that only one person can claim for each child.
And that one rule brings us to a really strategic decision for couples. If one of you works and pays national insurance, but the other doesn't, maybe they're a stay-at-home parent or a low earner, it is absolutely vital that the non-working or lower-earning partner is the one who puts in the claim. This makes sure they're the one banking those priceless national insurance credits and protecting their own future state pension.
All right, let's get into the part that causes the most confusion, the high-income child benefit charge. Now stay with me here. This tax bit is where most people get tripped up, but understanding it is the key to making the right choice for your family.
The magic number you need to remember for the 2025-26 tax year is £60,000. If either you or your partner has an individual income of over £60,000, you'll start to be affected by this tax charge. And notice I said individual income, not your combined household income. That's a really key detail.
So, how does the charge work? Well, it's a sliding scale. For every £200 your income is over that £60,000 mark, you have to pay back 1% of your child benefit. As you can see from the table, by the time your income hits £70,000, you're paying half of it. And once you reach £80,000, the tax charge is 100%, which effectively cancels the payment out.
Theory is one thing, but let's make this real. Let me introduce you to Anna. She is a self-employed graphic designer based in London. Her business is doing great, with profits of £68,000 a year. She's got one child and claims child benefit. Now, on the face of it, she's over the threshold. But that's not the whole story.
And that's because HMRC doesn't just look at your profit. They use a specific figure called adjusted net income. In simple terms, this is your total taxable income after certain tax reliefs, like your pension contributions, have been taken off. And it's a really powerful tool.
Now, Anna's savvy. She contributes £5,000 a year into her private pension. This gets deducted from her profit when calculating her adjusted net income. So, as far as the child benefit charge is concerned, her income isn't £68,000, it's £63,000. See? It's still over the threshold, but that simple act of saving for her future has really cut down the tax charge she'll have to pay today.
So, what are her options? On the left, she can just take the child benefit payments in full
and then pay back the tax charge through her annual self-assessment. Because her income is 63 grand, she'll pay back a portion but still get to keep some of it. Or, as you can see on the right, she can choose to opt out of receiving the payments altogether. She still fills in the form to get those vital NI credits, but by ticking one box, she avoids the tax charge and the extra paperwork. The key thing is, she still claims, and she has a choice.
Now that we've navigated the trickiest part, let's get back to basics. You've decided to claim, so what do you actually do next? Let's walk through the application process step by step. Honestly, the process itself is really simple. First things first, get your paperwork together. The quickest way, by a long shot, is to apply online or use the HMRC app. If you're more of a paper person, you can still download the CH2 form, fill it in, and pop it in the post. You might need to send original documents, like a birth certificate, but don't worry, they are always sent back to you safe and sound. And here's a quick checklist of what you'll need before you start. Your child's birth or adoption certificate, your bank details so they know where to send the money, and your national insurance number. And if you have a partner, you'll need their NI number as well. And this chart just shows perfectly why the way you apply matters so much. If you claim online or through the app, you could have your first payment in as little as 3 days. But apply by post, and you could be waiting up to 12 weeks. That's a massive difference if you're counting on that money. And here's another quick tip for you. Did you know you can backdate your claim? HMRC lets you backdate it for a maximum of 3 months. This means if you put it off, you could literally miss out on hundreds of pounds. So the message is crystal clear. As soon as your baby is born and registered, get that claim in. Right. Getting your first payment isn't the end of the story. Child benefit is an ongoing thing, which means you have an ongoing responsibility to keep HMRC in the loop about what's happening in your life. And this isn't just a suggestion. You are legally required to report certain changes, and you have to do it within 1 month. The common ones are right here. Your child leaving school after 16, separating from a partner, changing your bank account, or, crucially, if your income pops over that £60,000 threshold. Forgetting to do this can lead to overpayments, which, you guessed it, HMRC will ask you to pay back. Now that you know how to manage your benefit, let's look at where people often go wrong. We're on the home stretch now, so here are the most common mistakes you need to avoid. The first and probably most costly mistake is just not claiming soon enough. Remember, that backdating is capped at 3 months. If you wait 6 months to claim, you've permanently lost 3 months of payments. That's money for your family just gone, completely vanished. The second mistake is one we've touched on, but it is so important it's worth repeating. It's when higher earners see that tax charge and just decide not to bother claiming at all. This is a huge mistake. They are literally throwing away years of valuable national insurance credits, actively damaging their future state pension. Always, always claim, even if you opt out of the payments. And the third common mistake is simply forgetting to report those changes in your circumstances. Look, life gets busy, it's easy for it to slip your mind, but it can result in a really stressful overpayment notice from HMRC, and that means an unexpected bill that you'll have to find a way to repay.
So what are the key takeaways from all this? Let's boil it down. Number 1, always claim for those national insurance credits. 2, in a couple, be smart about who makes the claim. 3, if you're a higher earner, get to know your adjusted net income and your options. 4, apply online to get your money fast. And finally, number 5, report all changes as soon as they happen.
And that brings us to the end. I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. Now that you understand how it all works, especially that high-income charge, have you stopped to think about how a small financial planning decision, like upping your pension contribution, could directly impact the amount of support your family receives? It can feel like a lot to take in, I get it. And if you're feeling unsure about your specific situation or you want to plan your finances in the most tax-efficient way, it's always a great idea to talk to a professional. For help with child benefit, that high-income charge, or any other tax questions, you can contact the experts at My Tax Accountant. Their phone number is 0208-570-8531, and the email is info@mytaxaccountant.co.uk. I really hope you found this guide clear and helpful. If you did, My Tax Accountant regularly breaks down complex tax topics into simple, actionable advice, just like this. You can find more by subscribing to their YouTube channel.